I had a surprise set up. Right, we're live. So, Dean, Shelley, welcome back to Coffee Conversations with Champions. We're chatting about the epic SA Strongest Man competition. Never mind SA Strongest Man, some of the ladies were flipping intimidating. Some of the ladies that are still in high school were flipping in absolutely incredible with what they were lifting and moving. The most amazing event, and we were very happy and grateful to be part of that. So, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm well. I'm doing well. My health is much better.
Okay, yeah.
Um, Obviously, I've been battling with my health in the background.
Mm,
My diabetes is a bit out of control, so I'm almost like a dead man walking. But the
right.
last 2 weeks have been much better. I seem to have the knack of taking it much more seriously. I'm not in denial about my diabetes problem,
Yeah, sure.
and I'm feeling great. I feel awesome. I'm back in training. Um, when you have things under control, it's
Mm,
so much better. And normally, the last year, it's been an effort for me to train. I'm always tired. I'm always falling asleep at my desk
mm.
because obviously my sugar levels have just been out of control. But I feel awesome. I feel awesome. I'm back in training. I've got a few more tests that I've got to do for my health,
Okay.
and maybe God willing, I'd still be able to compete and make the Masters.
Okay, even better. Epic. So,
Yeah.
one, we want you to look after yourself because you're important. I mean, it was a truly spectacular event. Just and one thing I wanted to touch on as well, to compete and organize that. I mean, that's really a lot of work. Like you had, I think there was no rest prep for you leading up to the competition. But before we get into that, let's chat about the comp. What did you think about the competition? I see we got Amelia watching. She's given a double guns there for you. She took part, really did really nicely. I know if my car breaks down, I know who I'm calling for a tow. I don't need a truck; I just need a Amelia. So,
100%. Yeah.
for sure. So, what did you think of the comp? How was that for you?
I thought in my mind, I had my doubts. Obviously, I totally messed up the dates with the Durban July. But once we had committed, it was too late.
Yeah,
But surprisingly, so many people pitched up.
sure. Yeah,
There were tons and tons of spectators there. A lot of the powerlifting community was there. Your average day Joes were there, and children, and it was busy. Everything was busy. There were customers there.
it was
It
packed and it
worked.
was
It
pumping
worked.
and it
It
was a
worked.
vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
must.
worked. It
Yeah,
worked.
and I must be honest, I think, there's two kinds of people that are in Durban or in the world, that those who want to go to the Durban July or those kind of events, and those who don't. And I think you gave the rest of Durbanites and the people in that area something to do that didn't have to go and sit in the traffic and the chaos and stuff. Because Umschlanger was insane. I mean, the hotel, the Pearls, very kindly moved me to the front of the hotel because there were street parties going. It was just,
Nonstop.
yeah, nonstop. It was off the hook. So I think it actually may have worked out better. It was really cool. Yeah. With
The surprising, sorry to interrupt you.
no,
The
no, please.
surprising thing is, so many people enjoyed it and said it's such an awesome family event.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, normally when you just see these big individuals, you're quite intimidated by them. But then when you get to watch it and what they do, and a lot of the people came up to me and said they didn't know that this stuff existed,
right.
and
Sure.
they loved it, and it's child friendly. It really is, and
It's
you
a
have
real
women
life
doing it.
Marvel
You
movie.
know?
You know,
Yeah, and
it's
it's women and it's
superheroes. Yeah,
diverse,
yeah,
and
yeah.
people of all shapes and sizes. So it really worked. And there's a lot of excitement to have it again next year.
So listen, let's chat about that. What can you share with us? What's in the works? What are the plans?
Well, there's nothing in the works yet, to be
Mm,
honest with you. I'm obviously waiting for the guys to give me feedback. Um, I've chatted to some of the powerlifting guys,
yes,
and they'd be excited to host it as one thing. You have SA
sure.
powerlifting and SA strongman, and work together. Now I just need a commitment from the strongman.
Okay. that
and
we
from the
can go for
athletes and
it.
stuff. Yeah, because I'd like to, it's if you want to make it professional, you need to start acting professional, and
Yes.
I feel it's something that we lack. I feel that everyone's just waiting for a magic wand to make things happen, and it's not going to happen. We've got to put
100%.
in the effort, and we've got to make it happen. And I think we've got to use the strength community as a whole because powerlifting is so small,
Yeah.
strongman is so small. So together, we could grow the sport as one unity. I think that would attract more people, a lot more things to do. That's the way I'm thinking, and that's the way I'm headed. And the powerlifting guys are very excited. So I just need to sit down with them, and
Mm.
I need to sit down and put things together now because I think this is what a lot of people. And look, they're obviously going to get upset with me, and I think I'm going to think I'm having a dig at them, but they don't understand
Yeah.
how corporates and how companies work.
Mm.
There's budgets,
Yeah.
and I can't come to you in this financial year and say, "Hey, Nicholas, do you want to sponsor this event?" Well, I didn't budget for this,
Yeah.
so unfortunately, I can't sponsor. So we need to release events now for
Yes.
next year,
Yeah. And for
so we can start
2027.
approaching people
Yeah.
exactly. So we can start approaching people now, so they could possibly include us in their budgets for the next few years, or for next year, or the year after.
Right.
So I don't know.
100%. You
Hmm.
know, it is, and it's something, I mean, that we've learnt as well is it's not about if you need real sponsorship, substantial sponsorship that'll help you put on an event where you don't need a sponsorship board with, 80 different logos. You've really got to go, you've got to approach it from a corporate point of view. And corporates are planning stuff 2, 3, 4 years out. I mean, I saw that when we went down to Cape Town to look at venues for this World's Masters, and we went in January. The event's in October, and it's like the places are booked up until 2027, 2028. A lot of the venues, so it is a big thing, and I think that there was very much a sense of professionalism at this event. It was great to see everyone in the NMI caps, the baseball caps, and just like members of the public and promoting and the staff there. It felt very slick. It worked very, very well, and I think it's something that you would be proud for your clients to come and watch.
They loved it. They
Mm.
absolutely loved it. They want to have it again. There's some clients that didn't make it that are very upset. Um, so the guys are keen. They loved it. They're very very keen. So,
Okay, awesome.
but like I said, I
Yeah,
need to if I'm going to do this, I need to start making the arrangements now.
yeah,
I need to
that's it.
commit now. I've got to write proposals. I've got to put everything together and say this is what I need. I need to sit down with the powerlifting. I need to get sponsors on board,
Mm.
more sponsors, so we can accommodate athletes. Gee, sorry, my my email's on here.
No problem.
Um,
We had someone
so
knocking on the studio door despite the light
yeah,
being on. Yeah.
so that's what I'd like to do, and
Mhm.
I would like to team it up with the powerlifting. I'd like to call it a day of strength, and I'd like
Yes.
to make it something really, really big.
I mean,
And
just
so,
oh, sorry, go on. Yeah.
I go,
Okay. So I think just as a question, like just the powerlifting, would you want to bring in some of the other strength sports like the arm wrestling, strict arm curl, some of these other events?
yes, for sure.
I think it would be
I
absolutely
think
spectacular.
there's more than
Mm,
enough space to accommodate them at the venue.
yeah.
Um, if you can't do it indoor, we can most definitely do it outdoor by putting up tents,
Right.
which those stretch tents, it's not a issue.
Mm.
It can be done
Yeah, and
quite easily.
yeah, the location was great. It's easy to get to, tons and tons of space. It was very cool to have all of those massive trucks around. It was absolutely awesome. Uh, Completely off the event organizing topic. I want to ask you, what was that little bump in the beginning of the truck pull like?
No, actually, like obviously, I tested it once, so
Yeah,
I knew that in the middle that there was going to be a bit of an
but
incline.
it's like just yeah,
The-
you couldn't
yeah,
even judge it. Yeah,
just enough to make you work a bit harder.
Yeah. Did you
I
put that
told
in?
everyone about it. They didn't believe me. I
Yeah.
told them that it's there,
Right.
and those who listened did work. No,
Okay.
the thing is,
Mm.
a chuck ball can't be easy,
Yes.
and there's
100%.
no point if you build the momentum and the chuck runs with you. Then there's absolutely no point. You've got to work.
Mm.
So
Mm.
if I had to do a chuck pull next year, I'm going to look for a different surface, and I want to make it much heavier for the open class.
Geez. Okay. So we're going with the
Trailer, yeah,
trailers of the trailers with the
hundred
logs.
percent.
Okay, that's
I don't
it.
know with the logs, but definitely the trailers.
Did
Because
you? Yep.
I felt like it was too easy.
Mm.
Look, I was under the weather, and it was tough, but it wasn't that tough. It wasn't
Yeah.
hard enough for an open class athlete.
Okay.
I think it
Sure.
needs to be much harder.
That's amazing. And I think we had one or two members of the public wanting to give it a go. I think you opened with a lady pulling the smaller truck. That was quite fun to see. And what was it, in your opinion, sort of the performance of the ladies like? Because they really, it was absolutely incredible. We had people from South Africa, people from Africa. It was unbelievable. I think the ladies really brought an amazing game.
I think they did. I didn't watch too much of it. I'm going to be
Mm.
honest because I was all over the show.
Yeah.
Um, I know that there was the log lift. The one lady was very impressive.
Yes.
Um, I remember that, but yeah, that's about it. I
Okay.
was really just too busy with trying to keep everyone happy, trying to make sure customers were happy.
So you were also
So
during that
yeah,
time, you were not only, I mean, when we didn't see you, you weren't warming up. You were running around and competing, running around looking
correct.
after customers and making sure
Yeah,
that everyone was
I had a
happy
few
and
of my
had
own
everything there.
customers there that were
Okay.
visiting from Joburg, and so yeah, so I had to have a chat to them. I have to,
Yeah.
you've got to entertain everyone and keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
The bosses were there, all the
Yes.
senior management were there. So you've got to, speak to everyone and make sure you acknowledge everyone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people feel left out.
Yeah. 100%. And no one felt left out.
No,
As,
I
huh?
don't think so.
Okay. The food
I
was
hope not.
no, no, definitely. The food was epic, and the coffee was great. The vibe was great. You got a message here from Sam saying, "Awesome show, awesome show, mate. Best essays in 15 years." So there you go.
Oh, okay.
So really, really great feedback. I think the thing for me that really stuck out was the sense of inclusion in the audience. That the audience were feeling that they were really connected and part of it. When we arrived on site and saw the fenced off area, because it was the first time we ever did a strongman comp stream, and to see that little paddock, it wasn't that little, but compared to the trucks and the size of the location, it felt little, but it was perfect. But the audience were right there up against the fences. They were involved. There was cheering. Have you had feedback from the athletes on what the support was like?
I've only had a feedback from a few athletes, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Some have said thank you, and some haven't.
Okay.
Which is,
Yeah.
it's a bit disappointing
Mm.
because I mean you make huge amounts of efforts for them, um,
Yep.
but it
100%.
is what it is. And
Mm.
I always find it funny. It's the athletes that are, what's the word? I'm gonna have to be blunt. The
Yeah.
athletes that are not very strong,
Okay.
that have the most to say about, that have the most, yeah, that they are so unappreciative. And my wife's shouting at me in the background because she doesn't like my honesty. And it is. So
Please say hi
it's
for
like,
me.
to be honest
Yeah.
with you,
Yeah.
it's a bit nauseating, but anyways, I'll
Sure.
deal with it.
Yeah. Listen, speaking of your wife, it was lovely to meet her and your daughter. But geez, man, your daughter's tough. To get a smile out of her, you've got to work hard, hey?
She's adorable. She's so
Hey?
cute.
No, she really is. It was,
Stubborn,
yeah,
stubborn.
stop it. Hey, sure, strong.
Yeah,
So,
I think she will be.
absolutely. I think with the in terms of the performance that and also don't want to get us into trouble with your wife with this question, but in terms of the performance that the athletes brought for the standard of competition. Are you happy with that?
Yes, of course. I think,
Okay.
geez, that 90 kilogram division
Mm,
is powerful. Those athletes are machine. The open class, you have your a few, and then guys that are still coming up that still are going to mature and get
mm,
stronger and get
mm,
better. The 105 class was very good. Sharks, incredibly strong. I think it was. I mean, the guys performed. The guys performed well. Um, Obviously, we ran out of time for the
mm.
sandbags, and a lot of athletes were upset about it. But it's just, it's just one of those things. It was getting dark,
Yeah.
and staff need to go home. And after the yoke and the performances in the yoke, Blake just called it and said it's done.
Okay.
So yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't think it would have made a difference to the points for anyone.
Mm, mm.
So why persist with it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Why do you know? In chatting to all of you guys, the least favorite event is the sandbag. So why force it if you don't have to?
I
From a
think, yeah, a lot of guys. I don't know why they're so scared of the sandbags.
mm, yeah, short
To be
arms. I
honest
get
with you,
it.
maybe short arms,
Yeah.
maybe cardio,
Yeah.
um,
Sure.
high risk on the biceps, maybe.
Mm.
But
The
it's not really a hard event. If you're unfit, then it's a tough event,
event.
but it's
Okay.
not that bad.
I I did not realize, and I saw this very, very quickly with the deadlifts. I did not realize the cardio level, the fitness level that strongmen have. I was absolutely blown away. Just because I didn't realize sort of that with the deadlifts, it's not just one rep attempt like in powerlifting. You've got that time limit and you want to get that weight up as many times as possible. So the fitness thing was a big surprise for me. Did you have any of sort of the audience coming up to you or any of the kids going, "I want to try this. I'd like to get involved"?
No, none at all, none.
Okay.
I think it was the warm up area was on the other side of the arena, so it
Yeah.
made it very hard for to people to engage with the
Mm,
athletes. Um, it's something maybe we need to look at
okay.
for next year. We The crowd can engage with the athletes a bit more.
Right.
Um, yeah, they're just gonna have to look at the logistics on how we're gonna
Okay.
do that.
And how are you going to run that? And it's sort of a multi-day event. I think the sense I get is all on one day, get in the maximum amount of crowd, get it done, and get it over with, rather than running multi-day, excuse me, events. I'd just like your thoughts on that.
So for this one, that was the
Mm,
idea, is to be in and out, get us the crowd in there,
mm, mm.
um, give the athletes time to go home, to travel. But for next year's one, it's going to be a 2-day event.
Awesome.
Teaming it up with the powerlifting will allow you to have more spectators, more people,
Mm, mm.
um, and the date I have in mind is that long weekend, the June the 13th and the 14th.
Okay.
The Tuesday is a public holiday, which is the 16th, so people can
Yes.
take off the Monday, and you have that long weekend.
Okay. Fantastic. That
Because
was
then,
my
then
wedding anniversary because that's why I got married on
okay,
that day, so I wouldn't forget it.
and you're still married.
No. But it's fine. We'll bring it down next year anyway, so it's cool. She loves street
um,
sports. Yeah.
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the plan. I'd like to do it
Okay.
on that date
Mm,
if everything goes well. Then you have 2 days. You have enough time not to run out of events, to keep everyone
hmm.
happy. So yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. Awesome. Are there any events you would want to add?
They would, I think, that you see, it's sure. That's a hard one
Mm,
because obviously you have different type of pressing events,
yeah.
and you don't want all the events to be the same, or the same every year. So how I would do it is I would take like two pressing events for
Hmm.
example, and I'd say, okay, log for reps, log max, and axle for reps or axle max, and you like kind of draw it out of the cap and say, okay, this is the event. Okay, let's go with it.
Right. That's
Um,
cool.
yeah, and that's how you do it. So obviously we had a log for reps this year.
Sure.
I
It's
would probably have an Apollon's axle for reps next year.
okay.
The max deadlift will stay because I
Mm,
know there's a lot of there are a few athletes that want to attempt world records and new
mm,
African records. So the max deadlift will be there. Um, Possibly a log max because I know a lot of athletes would also like to attempt the African record
mm-hmm.
at the log press. So that's kind of what I'm thinking now. So you're going to have a chuck pull, most definitely.
Awesome.
You're going to have a
Yeah.
max deadlift,
Yeah.
um, probably a max log.
Sure.
'Cause
Okay.
yeah, those three I think are sandbags.
Yeah.
Will must will be there 100% just to make up for everyone that was complaining about the sandbags not being or not happening. So
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure there's sandbags.
Listen, you're gonna open with the sandbags.
So you can, so you have a whole year now. You will
Yeah.
get your
You
sandbags
get
next
your
year.
sandbags. Okay. Yeah.
You
It's
know,
just going to be a sandbags event. There's going to be one comp, just
you'll have,
sandbags.
you'll have your opportunity next year to
Okay.
load the sandbags.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine you're an athlete competing in the Olympics
Yeah.
and you bomb out. You've got to wait 4 years to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. You're doing it
So
in less, it's June. It's in less time. Hey?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, you got 11 months. You'll be
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sandbags will be
You focus
you know.
purely on the It's all about the athletes.
Yeah, maybe we'll start with the sandbag.
Bags, yeah.
So,
A 5 a.m. sandbag session for those
yeah,
who are
sandbags.
worried about worry.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
perfect. I
that's
know, yeah.
so that's what I'm thinking.
Right. Sure. That's very cool. That's absolutely going to be it's going to be amazing. And then obviously in the same location at the dealership at
Correct. Yeah,
NMI Commercial. Okay. I mean,
I'd
just
like it
such
to
an
happen
amazing
there.
space. Yeah.
If they approve, if
Mm,
Daimler approve.
mm,
So yeah, so it's not easy, to just go and ask for that type of money. Um, So yeah, I'll work on
yeah.
it. Robbie's excited.
Mm,
Robbie obviously backs it. I mean, the turnout
phenomenal.
was
Yeah.
good. There was so many customers, which is awesome for him.
Yes.
And he's saying that if we do it next year again, we need to put up a grandstand
Sure. Okay. Wow. That's very cool.
so people could actually sit and watch
Okay.
because he feels that there wasn't enough space for people to sit and
Okay. Sure.
watch the actual event. So Robbie's excited.
Awesome.
Once I get the commitment from everyone, I'll
Mm.
start doing the work.
Okay, epic. I think, and um, I hope we did a good enough job to warrant
Yes, of
next
course.
year.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then at least I'll grab Robbie, and then at least I can go around with him and get photos done with the
Great.
customers as well. So,
Well,
and then,
I
yeah.
haven't screamed or shouted at you or
Okay, no,
insulted
no,
you. So you
that's a good
say,
sign. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but you see, no, you see, what I was more worried about is there's the happy level, there's the scream and shouting, and the very worst is like when you don't even get spoken to. That's,
no, no, no.
you're not,
I'm
you're
not.
not there.
I'm not that type.
Okay, cool. Phew.
I'm the scream and
The
shout
shouting
type, and
type,
then
yeah.
it's out. It's done with, and I move. I
Okay.
move on.
Okay, but you know what? Just that's such a healthy way to do that, rather than I don't want to get into trouble here. Rather than trying to tiptoe around people's feelings and the thoughts aren't done away with, that the feelings. Rather get scream, shout, get it done, and then get on with the day, and everyone can move forward. A much healthier way to deal with
You
stuff, I
know,
think.
unfortunately, you can't please everyone,
Yeah,
and unfortunately, when there's a job that needs to be done, it's got to get done.
yeah, that's it.
So you got to put your feelings aside, and we got to get things done. So
Yeah,
if I say something that offends you, or you say something that offends me, it's okay. We move on,
yeah,
we get to a solution, and we get it done. But you can't tippy toe around each other. Not if you want to build an organization.
yeah,
Not if you want to make this professional. And you just can't. You just got to do what you need to do.
yeah,
And if you can't take it, then maybe it's just not for you.
yeah. That's it. Or at least and then don't complain. Contribute,
Yeah,
deal with what contribute, deal with what has to be done, and then those who are involved can make the comments. I think that's really the
Or
thing.
no one's going to take us seriously. I
Yeah.
mean, if we keep, it's we've got to have an event. There's got to be rules,
Mm,
um, and that's it. If something gets cut or if an event gets moved out, it's just one of those things.
yeah.
The sandbags was in a particular order.
Mm.
It was the last event. That's why it got pulled out for no other reason.
They're just
It
and
was the last event.
running out of daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
it.
mean, as you mentioned the other day, is there were tons of teething problems. I mean,
Mm.
it, the room that with your equipment,
Yeah.
the key, the
The
key,
key.
the keys magically disappeared.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that
Yeah.
delayed things.
Yeah. That was us.
The
Yep.
day before, people don't understand. Like the day before, only
Mm.
half the equipment arrived.
Yeah.
So I mean, I loaded some equipment in the morning, my own equipment, and it was like just raining nonstop, cats and
Sure.
dogs.
Yep.
And I
It
thought,
really
oh.
was.
And then I was at the dealership when you came and you brought your equipment. I was
Yep.
sorting out shirts with my wife, and then
Mm.
I went home, and then I had to come back, and then I realized, okay, not all the equipment's here. Um,
Yep.
we still need equipment. Then Blake had to make a plan and load all his equipment
Mm.
and bring extra weights. Otherwise, the show wouldn't have happened.
Yep.
So, all those things, it takes a lot of effort, and there's always going to be problems, and people must just understand that that's just the way it happens like that. You know what I'm?
Yeah.
And you got to deal with it.
You do your best. It's so true because we've been involved over the last few years with multiple events, and it doesn't matter. And even from our side with the stream, as experienced as you are, as prepped as you are, you can set up fully the day before you start the stream. Something happens. World Masters at Sun City for the Commonwealth. I think it was World Masters and Commonwealth Master athletes were lifting on the same day. We turn on the computer and YouTube has shut down our channel for 24 hours. No notification, no explanation, nothing for the one that we had set. So, the hate that I've gotten from seniors, from master lifters from around the world. And you're trying to, you do your best. And then as soon as it's up and running, unless you've been involved in organizing competitions and running them, you don't understand that the fact that if they look to run smoothly, that's an amazing thing. You can have multiple redundancies, everything you want, but on the day, there's going to always be something.
I think going back to my point earlier is
Mm,
the lack of appreciation
yeah.
is a problem, and that's how I got into trouble just now. Is
Is it
you
safe
you
now?
putting yeah, it is safe. You're putting tons of effort in from your own side to grow
Yeah.
your YouTube channel, to
Mm,
promote athletes.
yeah.
And unfortunately, this is how we have to start. We're going to start rock bottom. It's not going to always go well.
Mm,
It's not going to be, but someone's got to do it.
yeah. It's got
You're
to
not
be
going to
done.
start a podcast and it's going to be Joe Rogan.
Yeah. That's
You
it.
know, it takes time, and in the future, it's going to benefit the sport. I
Yeah.
mean, you're putting your own money to get to some of these events. You're putting your own money into buying all the equipment for the podcast. And then the equipment's not cheap, and that's what people don't understand. So it's
Yeah.
easy to sit there and complain about this and about that, but you know, once you do it on your own, you'd understand it's
Yeah.
not easy to organize an event
I
and to
think
get sponsors, and it's
sure.
not easy.
Not easy. That is the hardest thing that I've ever seen. Really, I mean, trying to get sponsorship is very very tough, but it is, and I would rather say if people are genuine about their complaining, step in and offer to help.
Correct.
There's always, I know there was an amazing team. There's a very good looking Italian guy that was helping with the weights, and and
He took 2 days off of work after that week, after the
did
weekend.
he?
He did. So he says to me, no, no, no. He had work to do at home.
Yeah, sure. He was lying on the bed lying in an ice bath.
He was broken. He was broken. But he's a machine. But
Yeah,
again, look at that.
yeah,
A guy that works 10 hours a day
mm,
in a physically demanding job
yeah,
comes there out of his own, doesn't get paid a single cent,
yeah,
to help. You know,
Absolutely.
that's the love and the appreciation for the sport. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping I can get him into the Masters to compete in the Masters, because when he wants to, he can actually, he's quite strong.
Yeah, very strong. Is there something older than the Masters you could look at putting him into? Have-
You want to upset him.
No, no, I don't. I don't. Scusi, scusi. No, for sure. I think he'll do phenomenally well. I mean, he was moving
No,
always with a smile. It was great to see. Speaking of that, like, how was the feedback from the staff? Did they have fun? Did they feel
they
did
loved it.
they appreciate it? I mean, you did this for them as well.
They loved it. The staff loved it. They enjoyed it. Um, Ludwig from Mercedes Benz, who's
Mm.
the area manager, he absolutely loved it. I mean, he was
Okay,
going
awesome.
around taking pictures of people. Um, there was another lady there, Matlati, but she's very like reserved.
Mm,
She
mm.
likes to be in the background. She also loved it. Um, they all enjoyed it, and it's positive for next year.
Oh, fantastic. We have another comment here from Ginger Beast. And yeah, 50 plus masters. Okay, there we go. That's what we're going to drop him in. Uh, That's,
This year,
yeah.
we combined the 50 plus masters with the
Mm.
40 plus masters
Okay.
because there aren't enough athletes. Yeah,
Mm. So, really, for
but
guys,
I made
yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
but I made sure there's a trophy for the masters 40.
Okay. Okay. Epic. So, but I mean, that's such a great thing. And what I love about Strongman is being able to see older athletes or older people find something to do. So, I mean, if there's a 50 plus age division, that's something people have got a year to start to work towards to see if they
Correct.
can
And
qualify. Mm.
from what I understand is there's going to be a 60 plus
Okay.
uh, age group
Sure.
group coming in now. Yeah,
That's going to be epic, epic, epic.
which is
Mm.
good because you know physical training or strength training is what you need. It's
Yeah.
one of your vitals. You know, your muscles need to be strong. I mean, I think I did a study in the States that
Mm.
50% of fatalities in old people are people that fall down and hurt
Yeah.
themselves, and that's called,
That's it.
you
So,
know, muscle mass,
yeah, and
weak
that's it.
muscles.
You need muscle. You
Mm.
need strength for balance. That it's so important. So I'm laughing because the next comment here, I'll put it up now and get Dan. That's Dan Oppenheim into the 100 plus masters category. I think Dan's 134 at the moment, but yeah, Dan's now master
Does,
5 in powerlifting. He's in
does
his
he work in
80s.
transport?
Huh? No, yeah, not
Does,
yet. He was
okay.
in photography and travel.
Yeah.
So yeah, very probable working in
Okay.
transport for sure.
I don't think you won't make it to 80 if you work in transport.
Transport, no. What's the age cap is 35, hey?
I think I think
Yeah,
Robbie's one of the lucky ones. I mean,
yeah.
Robbie's 65.
That's incredible, huh?
And that morning, I think before he got to the event, he cycled like 50 Ks or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he comes in, it's like he's like full of energy, walking around. He's just like super, super fit. That oak.
Yeah, fit, strong, and he was just like with everybody at the event, making sure everyone was having fun. It was absolutely fantastic
Yeah.
to see. And every time I saw him, he gave me a coffee voucher, which made me really happy. So for me and the guys, which was awesome. If we talk about the professionalism and where you wanting the sport to go, can we talk sort of what's the longer term view of that? What's the dream?
Yes, I'd like to get it to a point where it's similar to a Giants Live, where you can start getting arenas full of people,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe get the event onto Super Sport, or you know that type of effect. But I see like Giants Live isn't even Giants live stream, and
Mm,
maybe get it to a point that like that where you can have an arena and you just live stream it and the whole world can see it. And um, in terms of professional, like earning money from it, I think it would be very, very hard, if to be honest with you. I don't know if that would
mm,
happen
mm,
in my lifetime. Um, or maybe it's just my ignorance. Maybe there's someone out there that can help us get it to that type of level. But I find it, I don't know, I don't want to be negative, but I
mm,
find it very hard. But if we can get it to a point where there's money to help the athletes travel,
mm-hmm.
um, prize money, that type of effect, I think
Mm.
would be that would be a good start, to be honest with you.
And I think it would be game changing for the athletes. And just from my own perspective, and I'm involved in strength sports, it was just being at that competition and seeing it was a complete game changer in my perspective. Where you think, I think maybe a good tagline for a future competition is you think you know strong, right? And like I thought I knew strong. I remember when there was a powerlifter, Kyle, where he was 120 plus. I think he was in the opens, and or maybe still juniors, and he pulled the first 300 that we saw at SAs, and it was there might have been many before, but like that was the first. Like, wow, that's so strong. But then you go and see
Mm.
stuff like with the pressing and with the log, and then just the deadlifts and the fight. It's an absolute game changer. I think you're spot on with this, because until people understand what the sport really is and is really about, there's not going to be the support that's needed to grow it. And people have to see it. So they have to understand that there's an opportunity to go and represent at a competition. They're not only an athlete, they're an ambassador, where everyone has to show up with their A game, bring their strongest performance, make sure that they're ready, and also make sure that, I mean, there was great support amongst the athletes as well. There was something that was really wonderful to see. And, all of these monster guys trying to get the deadlift suits on, the Velcro shoulder straps and that. It's like, it's incredible. Like, that should be its own event, who can get into the tighter suit. But,
Yeah,
just to see that level of athletic performance. I mean, these are true athletes, and they are true masters in the sport at the top of the game. And I don't mean masters in terms of age. So the more people that can experience it and have events like this, the more this is what's going to grow the sport and bring the exposure, and have someone step up and say, hey, I'd like to get involved with this next year with sponsorship. And again, guys aren't getting paid. They're running their lives, they're running their businesses, they're working in jobs, trying to do this. Travel's expensive, time is limited. And it comes down to everybody understanding, in my opinion, that the support of the sport and the growth of the sport is everybody's responsibility.
100%. And you need all your top tier athletes competing. You need
Mm,
your Jaco Squinwinkels, you need your Reynos, you need those guys competing in their national championships,
mm,
because that's going to bring more people. And eventually you can get it to a point where you can have an arena
yeah,
where you can start having entrance fees and that type of effect. But until then, it's not going to happen. And
yeah.
like you said, we've got to have events. So there's got to be events, and they've got to be proper calendars. And you've got to say, okay, essays is happening next year.
Mm,
You can't get into 2026 and it's March. Okay, now we'll have essays in October, maybe.
yeah, yeah,
That's not going to work.
yeah. That's it. Because again, as you said, the sponsors have already closed their book for that year.
Yeah.
For those who
So
can
that's why
donate.
I was scratching my head, because I think in the past there was a lot of this, like,
Mm,
okay, we'll do it tomorrow,
yeah, yeah.
and that's not going to work. You
Yeah,
know,
that's it. It's got to
not
be
going to work.
delayed. Got to have time for it. Absolutely. From your side, what would you like to see from the athletes? You mentioned the top tier guys showing up, but in terms of the competitions, what would you like to see from the athletes? I mean, should they be going out and looking for event sponsors on their own, using their networks and so on, to try and refer people in? How can the athletes help other than performing just on the day?
I think the athletes need to help grow the sport.
Mm,
If you want your division to feature,
right.
you are responsible for bringing athletes into the sport. I've brought
Mm,
tons of athletes into the sport. I think one of the guys that was training by me, Michael Geldenhuys, I think he placed top 5.
mm,
It's his second strongman comp. I saw him in a gym training. I thought, okay, this guy's got the build for strongman, and I told him, come train. And that's what they've got to do at these smaller comps. They've got to bring people in. You
right.
and if you don't, then the sport's not going to grow.
And
So
yeah.
that's what the athletes need to do.
Okay.
They need to network. They
Mm,
need to grow the sport. They need to bring people in, and say, I do strongman. What do you want to give it a try? Come train with us, Obviously, the individual has to be strong,
mm.
um, but that's how you got to bring people in. You got to bring people in.
Yeah, that you
That's what the
absolutely.
athletes need to
Yeah.
do.
And I think
Mm,
it's almost where the athletes start thinking like coaches. If a coach sees someone strong in a gym, they're going to go and talk to them and say, "Hey, buddy, you got an come and train with us." And I think
yeah,
it's such a simple thing, but it's so important. I mean, if we could have each athlete over the course of the next 6 months bring in two other athletes, then it's going to be a fuller event. And what we then see with powerlifting, as an example, just because that's been my experience, watching the competitions go from 120 guys to 220 guys to 500 guys, and where now you're having essays over 3 or 4 days, that would be an amazing thing where there's so many events that you have to have it over a couple of days, or so many athletes rather, that you have to have it over a couple of days. And for me, what was very special was seeing some of the guys that have been following us on social media that we met in Sweden in 2019, and at Worlds in Helsingborg, and they were watching the event and making really awesome comments. What they were also doing was screenshotting. Some of my guys from overseas were screenshotting part when I was in front of the camera, going, "Nick, you're getting fat," and but it's like, every athlete, you got to share it with your social media. You got to tell your family and friends, like, guys, let's
yeah.
get this number of views, because then it's going to turn up in someone's stream and they're going to say that's absolutely fantastic.
And also stop trying to make money off everyone. I
Yeah.
mean, if you see someone and they've got potential,
Mm.
don't approach them and then want to coach them and charge them money.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I think that this is the
Why do
mm,
that? Why do
mm,
that? I mean,
yeah.
grow the sport. You've got a job. That's where you earn your money.
Yeah.
If someone
Great
approaches you
point.
for coaching, come on, man.
Yeah. That's it. 100%. Give us thumbs up, people, if you agree with that. If you don't, okay. But it's so
If you
important.
don't, I
Yeah.
don't really care.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No,
No,
but
for
I'm
sure.
just saying, don't just try and make money. Bring people into sport. Grow the sport.
Yeah.
I mean,
Grow
when
the
someone
sport.
when they brought you into the sport, they didn't charge you money.
Yeah. That's so true.
If you're really passionate about it, then you make an effort to grow the
Yeah.
sport, so we can have more competitive athletes.
And I think the thing to say is, if you are good at the sport, it shows you have commitment. So if you take, and like a challenging thing to say to the guys, but if you have the commitment that you do to have grown as an athlete, put some of that commitment, energy, focus, and skill set into helping grow the sport. Bring in an athlete. Commit.
Yeah,
I don't think it's impossible, Dean, to say bring in one athlete a month into the sport. Get
yeah,
12 guys to join you at training, and then, I mean, I built my gym by talking to everybody that I met about the training that we did, and whether it was annoying or not. I didn't go so far to the point where people stop inviting me out for dinner, but
yeah.
but that's it. Like, man, bring on one a month, and by the end of the year, you might be left with 6 or 8. That's such an
And
important point.
they might need it. You
Mm,
don't know what they're going through
yeah.
because I mean, there's a documentary that came out a few years
Mm,
ago. It's got Sadrinas and Hathor, something
yeah.
strong,
Mm.
and Arnold talks about it that when it comes to lifting weights, whether it be powerlifting or strongman, it doesn't matter where you come from. If
Mm.
you're rich or you're poor, that log does not care where you come from.
It really doesn't.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't. The yoke does not care where you come from, but it's such a exhilarating feeling to get under that
Mm,
weight, and lift it, and it makes you feel, it makes you feel like you're on top of the world, like you're worth something.
yeah.
So when you bring these people in, maybe it's what they need. They don't need you to be asking them for money.
Yeah. You may well be
They need
saving their life.
yeah. And I can't tell you, it's the most amazing feeling. When you get underweight, it's like peace. There's
Mm,
there's no the mind shuts down. There's no more. It's almost like meditation.
yeah.
You know, you don't have time to think, you don't have time to breathe. You just, and it's such an amazing feeling. So, and just, bring people, help them. That's what
Mm.
life's about, is try and help yourself, and in the process help people around you.
Yeah, that's it. We there's a little bit more I want to chat about, but we could end on that because I mean that's an incredible message to share with people, and I think it's you know we need, and I'm not speaking to anyone or about anyone that was at this comp or any comp that I've been involved with, but I get a lot of feedback from athletes going, we need sponsorship, we need this, we need that, and we need guys to pay for travel, and this should be paid for, and how can we not have this? And you know the stuff doesn't come out of thin air. And
Not at
if
all.
if you want it, go and get it, but not just for yourself. Go and get it for the sport. Because if you can develop a skill set to bring on a sponsor or develop a skill set to get someone to join you at training, those skills are only going to, that's sales. It's only going to serve you in life. And it's about, if there's some, the reason I started the media business, the reason we started the record label, and I have to tell you, just on a personal note, to see the audience tapping their feet and bopping to the music that Dubs had made with our producer, like, and I turned around and said to him, you see what's going on? And they're listening. So, then, and he learned there were 2, 3 tracks that are going to be changed out, and then they're going to be so. It was absolutely epic, and it was incredibly proud for him to be able to do that. And if you see a problem, build the solution. I think like you wanted a better comp, you built a better comp. We all capable of that in whatever the way is, and I hope maybe this is the message that I'd like to leave, is that as I didn't understand what strongman really was, I thought I knew what it was, but it was like looking at a pie. I just saw the crust. I didn't see what was underneath it. The incredible, like, it's mind blowing to see that human beings are actually capable of that. And not only that, but when you don't get that axle press on your first, second, or third attempt, you still keep going. I mean, that just it's mind blowing to see that. Or on the deadlifts, on the unbelievable. And I think people don't understand, and this is my request to our viewers and listeners. If you haven't organized a competition, you don't understand what goes into it. And you just,
It takes a lot.
yeah,
Takes a lot of effort.
it takes everything. And just even if you're grumpy, if you feel that you were robbed of every division you should have won, what any of that aside, go and express your gratitude to the organizer. Just
Mm.
go and give them a genuine thank you, because the chair that you were sitting on had to be brought there. The weights that you were warming up on had to be brought there. And when you leave and go home and talk to your mates and go for dinner, it's all got to be packed up and shipped back to where it
Okay.
came from. And that's what I don't think people realize on such a great degree. We were joking about Dan Oppenheim, and Dan used to be famous at the Gauteng champs. He would say to everyone, guys, I'd like you all to stay behind at the end of the competition. I've got a surprise for you. And they'd all stay behind. He says, right, the surprise is we're all packing away the weights. Let's go. And, to return the gym to what it was. And that's it. And I bring you back up here. They have fiber. Wait, I don't need to see myself. I need you there. Let me add you back. So they got solar. So when it switches from the solar back to Telcom, it cuts it off. Sorry, it's not letting me add you back on. Hang on. And okay, why can't I add you in there? Give me two. There we go. All right, cool. Folks, sorry, we just had a little bit of a blip with the studio switching from solar to Escom. I do apologize. So Dean, so yeah, I've just I suppose if I could ask maybe a tougher question, like what would it mean? And because I know you're a very emotional guy, and no, yeah, it's all about feelings, right? No, but like, what does it mean to the organizer if people
Passionate,
come?
not
Yeah,
emotional.
100%. What does it mean if people, when guys just come and say thank you for putting this on?
Um, I don't know. It's just, it's not like I said in my previous
Mm.
one. It's not something I want, but I think it's just common
Yeah.
um, etiquette. Like I remember there was a comp when in 2013. I was still young and full of venom.
Mm.
Is Rory was hosting the comp the day before. I came there and helped him offload the equipment.
Sure.
When the comp was done, I loaded the equipment.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Even when I was younger and I started going to my first comps, and I would help the guys load the equipment,
Right.
um, because that's how passionate about I was about the sport. You know, it's also nice helping people. Yes, I'm hard, and I'm going to tell you if you should, because I mean, if you come to me as an individual
Mm.
and you tell me you want to be the best, I'm an accountability type of person.
Yeah.
You know, you tell me I'm going to do this and you're not doing it. I'm going to tell you, Nicholas, you're not doing it. You know, shut
Mm.
up. You're not. You're not.
You're
You're
not.
not doing it.
Yeah.
Who are you lying to? You're lying to yourself. Come on.
Yeah.
So, so, like I said, the athletes need to bring in people, help people, people that love the sport, grow the sport, because you don't know who needs it. And it's therapy. Training is therapy.
Yeah. That's it.
A lot of people need it.
The person, you know, I've sat on my couch when the drinking stopped working. I've sat on my couch with my gun in my mouth, asking God to give me the courage to kill myself, while understanding that I have a good relationship with God and that my life is a gift. And
Yeah.
when I went into treatment, my first night when I came home, because I did an outpatient program, so I didn't stay in a rehab. I went for 4 hours a day. When I came home that first night, I couldn't go to the pub, which was my usual, and I had to sit there. Now all of this pain and emotion that was unpacked, and all of these demons that were in my head, whatever we want to call it, the negative thoughts, the negative self-talk, all of this that was so overwhelming and so overpowering, and could have very easily pushed me back into that very dark place. And I saw a documentary on Charles Atlas on TV, and I started with one push-up, one, because that's all I could manage, and by the end of the week it was 10. And that this is why I'm so passionate about this. This is why I love speaking to athletes from different sports and giving them a platform, giving them an opportunity to share, having the opportunity to have them on and talk to them, being at incredible events like this, because you may reach that one person who figures, hey, I'm going to give this a try, and that saves their lives or turns their lives around. And I don't know if we actually realize what a big responsibility it actually is.
And training carries over
Mm.
into life, carries
Yeah.
over into your job. You know, I've got to do X amounts of reps
Yeah.
to achieve an X amount of deadlift. I've got to make X amount of calls to sell X amount of trucks.
That's it. Yeah.
And it's that discipline of showing up at training every single time. And it just, yeah, it works.
It absolutely works. Yeah. I'm here because I'm here because it actually works. That's it. And I think that's so just, yeah, I think that's the message I'd like to for us to end on with this is understand that your training, if you're passionate about your training, understand that it's a gift and we share that gift. In Alcoholics Anonymous, we say we keep what we have by giving it away. And I believe we grow what we have by giving it away. So, grow
Yeah.
your experience as a strong man by sharing it with others and by giving it to others. And set a goal: one athlete a month into to at least come to a training session. You know, I,
To, to do a comp, I mean, they've
yeah,
got nothing to do.
that's it. Yeah, 100%. Are there any comps that
Absolutely.
are coming up we can chat about, by the way, on that?
I'm not too sure
Mm,
what is the plan,
mm,
to be really honest with you. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a nice venue in Cape Town where they host a CrossFit Coachella.
okay.
Um, they gave us a stand last year. I spoke a bit to Keaton about it today.
Mm,
Um, but again, then it just gets to the point where, you know, athletes don't have the money to travel to Cape Town, and
mm, mm.
And at this stage now, I mean, it's already July. To try and get sponsorships now is going to be really hard. Um, I did suggest to him to contact one person that I'm hoping would help.
Mm.
Because it's a really nice venue. There's CrossFitters all over. There's athletes. The event's buzzing. So it's
Awesome.
important to, like I said in my previous thingy interview with
Mm-mm.
you, is that you got to try and tag along with something that's already happening.
Mm-mm.
So you have the traction, you have the people, you have the feet, um, and that event's perfect for that. And but again, then it just gets to the point: is how do you get athletes there? Something a lot of athletes can't afford it.
Mm-mm.
Um, and Yeah, it's a tough one. It's really tough.
But we keep fighting, huh?
Mm,
You keep going on at it. Don't quit. That's it. So if you know
yeah,
it, I think it's very simple, Dean, that if people want more, if athletes want more, they have to do more.
yeah,
Because it can't
and
just be on a few people's heads and hands and shoulders.
yeah, I know it's tough, but you got to try and commit. I mean, I remember when we
Mm,
we started out. I by no means come from any wealth or any money, or
mm.
so I know. I mean, my first wrist wraps were someone's old knee wraps
Okay, sure.
that
Yeah.
converted, and I got them sewed and put the Velcro and everything on it. We used to share each other's belts. I mean, when we used to travel, five
Mm.
of us would get in a car.
Yeah.
And I mean, you saw Anton
Jeez.
there.
Sorry,
You can ask
there's
Anton.
not small
Anton used
guys.
to travel. Anton used
Yeah.
to compete in strongman too for a short while.
Right.
And five of us would get in a car, and there was a guy called Tristan O'Brien, also a phenomenal strongman.
Yeah.
And with Rory, and we'd get in a car and we'd drive to Witbank and we'd drive to Middelburg, and we'd all just chip in petrol. We'd share, go to bed and breakfast, and
Mm.
you end up sharing beds. Um, the one day we went to Sam Fronstein's house, and
Yeah.
there were like six of us staying there. I don't think he'd ever invite us to his
Yeah.
house again. So, I mean, um,
Right.
so I mean that you've got to also think out of the box. Yes, it's tough financially, it's tough, but you've also got to think out of the box and say, okay, there's six of us. Let's rent a car. Let's put
Mm,
money
mm.
together. Let's ask someone for a car, or let's use my car, and you rent a trailer.
Yeah.
If you're really passionate about it and you want to make it happen,
Sure.
you'll make it happen. I mean, yes, we traveled, we made the effort. We didn't have like money and stayed in. We used to share bedrooms and
Mm.
share beds.
Yeah.
I mean, Keela and Tristan had to share bed. the,
How was
I
how
mean,
was the bed
the,
afterwards?
the thing was fucked. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, so you know what I'm saying. So I mean, and I promise you, you have so much fun. I mean, we
Yeah.
used to verbally abuse. I mean, you're not even out of. You just reached Maritzburg, and you're laughing so much that you start getting cramps,
Yeah.
but it's so much fun. Then you share a room and you're sleeping with someone that snores. I mean,
Yeah.
Anton, I love you, Anton, but Anton can snore.
Yeah.
So I mean, um, so
Yeah. Yeah.
distance. So imagine like now I don't snore, and
Mm.
Rory also. So then you'd like fight for who you like roommate with, because you don't want to end up, because otherwise you don't sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the guys that was refing there was Theo Joseph. He used to
Right.
be a 105 strongman. The one night I woke him up and I said, "I'm going to shoot you with your own gun. This is how bad you snore. Go, go sleep in another room. Go
Yeah.
sleep outside. But you and I are not sharing a room." So I mean, this is the type of things it used to do. Obviously now, I'm a bit more fortunate, and I can
Mm.
travel with my wife and I can afford to stay. But this is what you got to do. You got to
That's where
put a
you
kitty
start.
together,
Yeah.
and you go. I mean, I didn't own my own belt. I used to use Rory's belt, or
Mm.
we used to share other stuff because. But that's and how it worked.
Mm. Mm.
You know, if you get there and okay, well, I can't use his belt. I've got to use someone else's belt. Um, that's why I think it's so much easier for guys like us that started out back then. You didn't have much equipment. You didn't have much anything. I mean, you just go with it. If I don't have my belt and I've got to use someone else's belt, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
it.
use someone else's belt. If I don't have my own reps, I'll use someone else's reps. And That's what it's about. If you're strong, you're strong. You don't need your equipment. You can use anyone's equipment, and if you're passionate about it, you'll make it happen.
That's it. If you're passionate about it, you'll make it happen. 100%. And you'll
Yeah.
have fun doing it.
Yeah. Oh, sure. We had lots of fun. Oh my gosh.
So you
You
do,
know,
yeah.
the death threats from Anton.
Yeah.
Oh my soul. But
Uh,
but you see, and that's the thing. That's what people don't understand is,
mm,
work together. It's a community. Speak
mm,
to each other and say, listen, can I drive with you? Can I thingy? I'll contribute to petrol, because if there's five of you traveling to Durban or to Joburg or to Cape Town, it works out so much cheaper, because then
yeah.
you're all driving and at least it's fun. The time goes by. Um, you talk rubbish. Um, you have
Yeah.
so much fun, and that's what it's about.
And you're not stuck in the late 80s, early 90s where the radio doesn't work and there's only one banana rama tape on the drive to Cape
Yeah,
Town.
yeah. So,
So,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's what people need to do,
yeah.
and it's fun, It's like like I said, I woke up on Saturday
Mm,
morning
mm,
and I was flat,
mm.
and you just got to be tough and just push through it. And if you really love it, you'll just
Going,
keep
yeah.
your head
And you'll do
down
it.
and keep going. You're never going to get the
Mm,
ideal stage or circumstances. Something's always going to go wrong, and that's just how life works. And the quicker you learn how to deal with it, the easier life's going to be for you.
yeah, that's it. The less you're going to be affected about what's going on around you, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very, very cool. Oh man, that's absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. It was epic to chat to you again.
Awesome. Thank you
Okay.
to you.
Yeah. We had I had a little bit of a fun surprise. We were going to bring Keelan on, but he had to go off to an urgent appointment. So we might save that for the next one.
Yeah, no, that would be
Yeah.
cool. Keaton and I have a good camaraderie.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
it's
good banter. It'll be fun.
he deserved to win.
Yeah.
He was on form on the day, and what's written is written for you, and
That's it. Yeah.
and he did extremely well, and that's would have been nice to have him on
To
together,
chat to.
because
So can
especially
we
if you
get
can.
you back with both of you guys on? It would be great to
Yeah,
chat.
sure.
Okay, epic. Thank you.
I mean, you'll have a laugh, because he knows when there were a few instances where he roommated with us and went with
Mm.
us, and he had to share bed with Tristan. Um, so yeah,
Nothing
you
is
know,
impossible, right? Yeah. I think what was Sam's comment was, can you not keep your eyes open when you smile?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So there you go. No, it was phenomenal to see. And listen, speaking of that, the trophies and the prizes were epic. I mean, they were really amazing. It was a nightmare to photograph because the guys couldn't hold everything from the tubs of I think it was weight gain or whey protein and the trophies, and they were really really cool. So it was. I'm going to say thank you for the event and for
okay,
what you
awesome,
did. You know,
thank you so much.
it was very, very cool. Awesome. Cool. Have an awesome evening. I'm going to end the live stream now. Folks, sorry we lost everybody. If you've just joined us, go back. We'll get it uploaded. I'm not sure what's going to happen to the Instagram video with the stream being cut, but it's on YouTube and it's up on YouTube. So go and check it out. Dean, Shelley, world famous strongman, world famous competition organizer, listener to of wife. Dude, thank you for your time. I'm going to end the stream and I'll chat to you quickly off air.
No
Okay, I'll
problem.
be back in a sec. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the comments. Thanks, Ginger Beast, for the Dan chirp. It also made me smile.